We win.
4 minutes. 4 minutes to charge your phone. Stand by.
Okay. All right, good afternoon. Thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Sam Krasenstein. I'm the city's Deputy Director for the Department of Public Works. So today we're here to announce two exciting projects from both DPW and from the City of Detroit. The first is unveiling two new refuse collection trucks that are going to be used for recycling operations across the city that are fully electric. And number two is the expansion and launch of a recycling pilot program at our bus stops across the city. So I'm going to start off by talking about these two pieces of equipment behind us. So we were able to purchase these two new, brand new, fully electric refuse collection trucks thanks to the generosity and support from Michigan Eagle and DTE and the continued support from City Council. These two vehicles are going to be used for recycling operations across the city, servicing the numerous bus stop recycling containers and commercial recycling customers, helping to support the city's bottom line goal of creating a brighter and more beautiful city for all of our residents and businesses. These two new pieces of equipment are going to result in lower maintenance since there's very few moving parts, cleaner air and less noise pollution, and it's going to allow us to start training and improving our workforce development so that our employees are ready to operate and maintain these well into the future as we convert more and more of our fleet to electric and hybrid technology. This grant provided by Michigan Eagle and the funding from DTE also has allowed us to upgrade our charging infrastructure, which has allowed the installation of a new DC fast charger at this location, which will allow these trucks behind us to charge in as little as 3 hours and to take a typical light duty, so if you think about your F-150 Lightning, to charge that and add 100 miles in as low as 12 minutes. So really cool technology coming to this location, allowing our fleet to be able to better serve our residents throughout the city. The second pilot that we're doing is our recycling bus stops. So today we have more than 2,400 bus stop locations where we have trash containers out across the city. And right now we've done a pilot where we have about 40 of these. Thanks to the continued support from City Council, in particular from Councilmember Callaway, the Department of Public Works now has $500,000 that we'll put towards investing in 800 new recycling cans across the city to allow people to have choices for when they're disposing of their trash and recycling. This is going to be tremendous support for the city, and it's going to allow us to move forward, and it's going to allow the city to look even more beautiful than it does today. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our support from City Council, thanks from Michigan Eagle and DT, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome up LaJuan Counts, who's our Group Executive of Construction and Building Operations. LaJuan?
So good afternoon. I am LaJuan Counts, Group Executive of Construction, Building Operations, but also Fleet Services. And today is more than just about introducing this new equipment. It's about the big step that the city is taking to operate in the future. These two electric vehicles actually represent more of the city's commitment towards a more sustainable fleet. They mean cleaner air for our neighborhoods, quieter operations throughout the day, and there are also opportunities for our fleet maintenance staff so that they can broaden their skill set as well as engage with the technology of current and prepare for the future as well. This is more than just about trucks and bins. It's the city's continued commitment towards sustainability and innovation, protecting our environment for the generations now as well as to come. And with that, I'm very brief today. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Angela Whitfield Callaway, who is the City Council member from District 2.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Group Executive of Construction and Building Operations, LaJuan Counts. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Angela Whitfield Callaway, and I proudly represent the most beautiful, the most cleanest district in all of the city, and that is District 2. I am so proud of the blue recycle bins that I see throughout District 2 and throughout the city. So good job to myself and my colleagues. Thank you so much, because you were very, very supportive of that effort, Member Benson. So again, hello everyone. And since joining City Council, I've had the opportunity to visit cities across the country with my colleague, Member Benson, meeting with fellow elected officials, walking through neighborhoods, and learning from the ways other communities take care of their public spaces. And time again, one thing stood out to me is public recycling opportunities and options. I'd find myself taking photos of recycling bins, sending them back over to GSD, sending them over to DPW, and even sending them to the mayor. I would see these recycling bins in parks and on busy sidewalk areas, and I said, why not Detroit? I did not see enough of the blue recycle bins in our city, anywhere. Today, I'm proud to say we're answering that question with action. This pilot program is more than just placing bins around the city. It's a statement. It says we care. It says that we believe Detroiters deserve beautiful, as Sam indicated, clean and well-maintained spaces. And it shows our residents that we expect more because we're investing more together. When we keep our spaces clean, we foster a sense of pride and ownership in our communities. And when people are proud of where they live, they protect it and they keep it clean. They uplift it. They work hard to keep it safe, welcoming and beautiful for everyone. I'm especially proud of the work my team and I did during the last budget cycle to make this possible by securing over $500,000. I want to thank my colleague, Member Benson, and to my other 7 colleagues for making that possible. Bringing recycling options to our parks, our bus stops, diverts waste from our streets and gives materials a second life and helps reduce pollution, something our city knows far too well. From vehicle emissions to industrial development to traffic of our highways, Detroit carries a heavy environmental burden, but we can all play a part in lightening that load. And that starts with small, everyday actions like recycling. Being a good neighbor means being mindful. It means sharing space. It means leaving things better than you found them. This initiative is a step in that right direction, and I truly believe it's just the beginning. Thank you again for allowing me to share this moment with you, and I look forward to continuing this work with and for the people of Detroit. And now, the next voice you will hear will be that of Scott Benson, council member for District 3.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for that. It's an honor and privilege to be here. And as my colleague said, my name is Councilman Scott Benson, and I represent the thriving 3rd District, where we get mean about our clean and our green. And as the chair of Detroit's Green Task Force, I'm also proud of the fact that 5 of the 7, I believe 6 people up here right now, have been on site visits around the country to discuss sustainability and best practices around rejuvenation, around sustainability, and how we're going to make Detroit a more resilient city. And so when we talk about recycling, I am excited that my colleagues are now fighting just as hard as I am to make sure we become the cleanest and greenest city in the country, and we're going to get that blue ribbon for the most sustainable city in the country in the near future.
That's right. Yes.
And so when we talk about the ability to improve our infrastructure, to electrify our city, and to ensure that our recycling efforts, and thank you, my colleague, Angela Whitfield Calloway in District Number 2, and when we talk about the ability to improve our electrification system, when we talk about what it means to have the ability to reduce our greenhouse gases, improve our air, and our goal for the city of Detroit is to have a 75% reduction in our greenhouse gases by the year 2034 over our 2012 numbers. So just imagine what that means and how these electrified, recycling and solid waste vehicles, how having the ability to electrify our entire fleet one day are going to play into that. And so this is huge. Glad to be here, so proud to be the chair of the Green Task Force and know that these type of philosophies are being adopted citywide, being adopted on the 13th floor and on the 11th floor of how we move our great city forward and we become the meanest, the cleanest, and the greenest city in the country. And with that, I want to make sure we recognize one of our partners, Ms. Madison Oppenhauser from the state of Michigan Eagle, a recycling specialist who helps bring these type of resources back to the city of Detroit.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Benson. And thank you all for inviting me here to speak with you today and celebrate this exciting announcement. On behalf of the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, better known as EGLE, we know the importance of providing recycling access and infrastructure to all Michiganders. This investment by EGLE and the state of Michigan helps to support the debut of this new recycling infrastructure in Detroit. Recycling bins at bus stops will be used to recycle materials by thousands of Detroiters on their transit rides to their daily commutes. Recycling bins will be used and they provide valuable services to Detroiters, helping to keep litter off the streets and, equally important, helping to keep our natural resources circulating in our economy. The use of electric vehicles for providing municipal services is also an innovative approach to reducing pollution. This Detroit vision aligns with the My Healthy Climate Plan commissioned by Governor Whitmer as a roadmap to sustainable, prosperous, healthy, equitable, and carbon-neutral Michigan economy by 2050. The City of Detroit's Department of Public Works has shown their dedication to providing Detroiters the opportunity to learn more about the value of recycling properly through partnerships with local organizations like Green Living Science and through continuous improvement of their recycling programs as we're witnessing here today. We know from survey research that all Michiganders want to recycle the right way. They often just need help understanding the difference between what's recyclable and what should go in the trash. At EGLE, we've seen firsthand the value of this type of recycling education. Michigan has steadily increased its recycling rate since EGLE launched our ongoing national award-winning Know It Before You Throw It campaign, featuring the Recycling Raccoon Squad. I'm delighted to report recycling at Michigan is at an all-time high for the 4th consecutive year, and that is something we can all celebrate. Last year, Michiganders recycled more than 71,000 tons of glass, 56,000 tons of plastics and plastic products, and 329,000 tons of paper and paper products. The volume of materials we recycled in 2024 equals the weight of 10 Mackinac bridges. It would fill the football stadiums of the Detroit Lions, University of Michigan, and Michigan State University, as well as the hockey stadium of our national champions, Western Michigan University Broncos. Fun fact. I am confident that recycling investments and education activities like we see here in Detroit today will help to ensure that we continue Michigan's momentum and set another new recycling record next year. Thank you so much, and now I'll turn it right back over to Sam Krassenstein.
Thank you, Maddie, and thank you, council members, and thank you, Luan and Deputy Mayor, for being here to help support the department and the city as we take a huge step forward. So I'd like to take this opportunity to open up for any questions that folks may have.
My question was, it sounded like you said it'll go faster than the 150.
So the trucks themselves will charge at the DC fast charging rate of 150 kW, but we have a larger piece of equipment installed, so we can install them both concurrently. Yeah, so great question. So residential trash and recycling in bulk is performed by our two contractors, Waste Management and Priority. So this pilot today is just for the City of Detroit equipment that's going to be focused on, number one, servicing the bus stops, both for trash and recycling, and number two, for supporting our commercial trash and recycling customers served by the City of Detroit. Right now, there's no Priority and Waste Management as private companies. we can't tell them which types of equipment to use, but we hope to lead through example that by the City of Detroit taking the first step, we hope to show that folks in the private sector and other cities that yes, this equipment can do the job that a normal diesel piece of equipment can do just as well. Please.
And so, great question. And while we have my colleague here, we're going to see those contracts come back up in about 5 years. At that time, we'll have the opportunity to say, look at what we've done here with our electrified trucks, and then we can lean on and then request that the administration mandate that a percentage or all of the vehicles used in our solid waste program be electrified and support our greenhouse gas reduction requirements.
Well, I'm going to also ask my colleague to help me answer this, but I don't think I'm so concerned about the next generation. It was my generation that has been educated by the next generation about recycling opportunities and options. So it's the children that's doing the education. It's the children that's talking about, don't throw that over there, put that over there. Don't use that plastic bottle, use recyclable bottle. So it's been the children that's the driving force behind this recycle bin. It's not my generation, it's the next generation that inspired this.
And to support that, we've got organizations like Recycle Here, and we've got a number of their members here today. They have a program, and the city funds this, and I believe that funding comes through the state of Michigan to educate our school children. And Recycle Here goes to DPSCD schools, it goes to charter schools, and they educate our youth about sustainability, about recycling, and how to do that correctly. So we are committed to educating our youth who then educate us to make sure that as a city, we become the meanest, the cleanest, and the greenest, and we win that blue ribbon prize.
I just wanted to hear you say that. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
And additionally, Mr. Hunter, you'd be surprised at the level of knowledge and information that the youth have with respect to recycling. They really are very informed, more so than older folks, and that's just real. Okay, yeah, thank you for the question.
I think we can all remember the phrase reduce, reuse, recycle as something that continues to be true. Recycling is one of the many things and strategies that we're trying to do in order to get people to litter less and ultimately use less to make our city beautiful. I will say on the education thing, or on the education component, one of the things that we're doing with the bus stop cans is we have a thing on top that just limits it to bottles and cans to try to decrease the amount of contamination. So we know at bus stops, like where people are getting ready, just hanging out or getting ready to get on the bus, bottles and cans are the #1 thing that people are throwing away there. And that's what we're trying to capitalize on by diverting that to keep that out of the landfill and keep that out of the streets. So we are taking steps to try to educate both this generation and the next generation by making it easier for recycling so people know very clearly, yes, you can recycle this. You can and should. Next question.
How many recycling bins are going up around the city?
Yeah, so great question. So right now for the bus stops alone, we have 42 out today. The question was how many recycling bins will we be putting out as part of this program? So today we have 42 of these recycling bins at bus stops that we put out as a pilot, and the results have been great. With the $500,000 from City Council and from the advocacy of Councilmember Callaway, we'll be putting out 800 additional recycling cans at bus stops. And that's going to take us a huge part of the way. We have 2,400 bus stops with trash cans overall, so this is going to allow us to cover more than 1/3 of all the bus stops across the city with trash and recycling infrastructure.
Does that come with more employees?
No, this is it's actually great that we're able to serve this with our existing employees and our existing fleet. So this vehicle is going to allow us to, basically take an employee that was doing trash collection before and allow them to be dedicated to recycling. So we're very fortunate to be able to support this operation with the existing great employees that Department of Public Works has today.
Can you share how long the pilot program's been going, when we get started, how quickly it is
Yeah, so the bus stop cans we put out have been out for what, about 6 months now, 3 months. So we've had the opportunity to go through and do weekly collections with them to get a sense of what's the tonnage look like, what's the contamination rate, and the results have been very encouraging for us to be able to continue. I think our goal is to get all 800 cans deployed over the next 1 year. Is that accurate? 1 year? So we have the orders in today, and so as soon as those come in, we'll have crews out starting them to install them all across the city. 3 months. Any other questions?
When can the city expect these electric vehicles out on the road?
They are on the road today. So we cleaned them up a little bit, but these are functioning vehicles that we have out servicing customers and out supporting our bus stops today. And they'll continue to be out there throughout the year, throughout the winter, and into the years in the future.
And are you replacing your whole fleet with these electric vehicles?
Not yet. Right now, we're still in the pilot stage, so we want to see how all the different equipment performs. For us, we like to have a variety of different types of equipment. I know there's a lot of energy and interest in the hydrogen heavy vehicle space as well, so that may be something we explore in the next couple years. Overall, though, we do want to start to look at our equipment to see, even if we're not going full electric, can we be getting things that are more sustainable and more green, even if that ends up being more of hybrids in the meantime.
Are we doing anything to educate the public? Atlanta, Chicago, all having problems with recycling because once it becomes contaminated, you can't put it in the recycle, and then sometimes it messes up a whole bin.
Exactly.
Are we going to do anything regarding educating and making sure that there is a difference?
Yeah, so as Member Benson mentioned, we have great partnerships with Michigan Eagle and with Recycle Here to help educate the community about what they can and can't recycle. So our team here, we have a dedicated recycling coordinator that works with our team, works with priority waste and waste management, where we'll go out and we'll do audits of recycling bins to see where are we having the highest instances of contamination and what education do we need to do for those residents. So that could include putting stickers on the bins to say, hey, you're doing a great job, or hey, you have a lot of stuff that's not actually recyclable. Here's a reminder about what you can and can't do. But education is tremendously important for this to be successful.
Can you take a swing at like an anecdotal question, a timeline, if you will, meaning how long have efforts been concerted in this area to recycle? Are we still kind of in the infancy of where you hope to go? Of the challenge of getting a community the size of Detroit to be involved and participate? I mean, I'm just looking for kind of a broad, beyond the bus stop program and the vehicles, the challenge overall and what you're hoping to accomplish.
So great question. So the question overall for those students here is how are we doing overall in the recycling program, big picture? I would say we're well beyond infancy at this point. I would say we're in the we're doing really well. So right now we have more than 25-30% of our residents that recycle today. 45% of our residents recycle today. So we're making tremendous progress by showing Detroit as a leader, not just in Michigan, but in the whole country, of communities that do recycle and get people to opt in. So we're doing very well. The bus stops are one component. We also offer a commercial recycling program for businesses that want to recycle, where we have a blue 400-gallon bin that businesses that do produce a lot of recyclable material have a way to dispose of that in a sustainable way. The other thing that we're doing in order to encourage recycling is any resident can go on the city's website today or on Improve Detroit and request a free recycling bin. So that's a service that's complimentary and available to all residents, where it's very easy. You go on our website, you fill out a brief form, and our contractors will deliver you a recycle bin. It's that easy, and we hope to get that 45% up today, as close to 100% as we can.
Do you have any metric on how much Detroit itself recycles? We heard about the state. Do you have any idea?
I am sure that my team has given me some statistics. So what's our tonnage look like today? Annually? 9%. Okay. And 6,000 tons overall. Okay. So I for those who didn't hear, so on how we're doing overall, right now about 9% of our total weight of refuse is currently recyclable. So it ends up being about 6,000 tons of recyclables that are diverted from the landfill each year. Yeah, please.
And so with Recycle here, I want to make sure that we make that very clear, which is Green Living Science, which is a subsidiary of Recycle here, and they do the education. What we've also seen is exponential growth when it comes to the level of recycling in the city of Detroit. If you look at about 11 years ago, we were at maybe 0% when it came to participation. Right now we're at 45%. So you're looking at a close to 4 to 5% annual year-over-year growth when it comes to recycling. So just imagine where we'll be 10 years from now. And this is also, how do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time. In the city of Detroit, we've been doing that, and we're committed to being the meanest, the cleanest, and the greenest city in the country.
Okay, any other questions? All right, want to thank you all for coming out today. We're happy to talk one-on-one with anyone who wants to learn more about the recycling program or learn about some of the electric vehicles that we're bringing on board today. But thanks again to my council member colleagues, to Lawan from our construction and building team, to Deputy Mayor for being here, and Maddie from Mich Eagle and the DPW team for all the effort that's gone in behind the scenes here.